Good morning, ladies. I just read Jennifer's, or I just watched the video that Jennifer posted, and I'm going to go ahead and make some comments on that, and I'm making it by video because it would be just too long for me to write down. I'm going to give you a little bit of history around what I think is going on. Back in September of 2017, I took my granddaughter, to the park. And when we got home, our eyes were real red and just bloodshot looking. And the next day when I got up, my right eye was all swollen and very painful. And my granddaughter's eyes were weepy and red, and they looked bad. I thought maybe we'd gotten into some pesticides or something on the grounds of the park. But hers cleared up and mine didn't. So I was in bed for about a week and battled with my eyes for months. And I lost a lot of my eyesight. And so about the 1st of December, I started receiving in my emails and Facebook and newsletters, and I started noticing conversations in various people that I follow regarding this 5G network. And I spent hours. I think I watched about 8 or 10 documentaries, and I don't know how many papers I read. I don't know how many people I listened to. It was massive. I guess I got through probably the end of January, the middle of February with everything. It just stopped. All of a sudden it stopped. Well, the way that my journey's kind of been is the journey of what they call the wounded healer. Something happens to me and I figure out how to get over it, and then God sends people to me with the same problem. And I noticed during that time that a lot of people were having trouble with their eyes, that it was just an epidemic of people having trouble with their eyes. So, let me think here. The next thing that happened was when I got through, I just kind of leaned back, looked up to the sky and said, God, if you don't show me how to protect ourselves from this new 5G network, I don't want to be here, because this is going to be insane. And so you need to show me what to do. Well, back in August of 2017, I met a woman at the Dallas Women's Entrepreneur Group here in Dallas. And she showed me, she gave me some water, but she showed me just a little bit of technology that her company was selling, which I've seen a lot of stuff that is supposed to protect you from EMFs, but most of it doesn't work. It doesn't stay active. So I didn't really give it much thought. So after that little conversation I had with God, Dagmar calls me about a week later. This is the lady that introduced me to the water. And she says, listen, we're having a networking event in downtown Dallas for a premiere of a documentary called Generation Zapped. Would you like to come and bring some friends? Which I did. Well, the documentary was a summary of most of the things that I had been learning. And afterward, Dagmar showed the technology around this EMF technology. And I thought, well, this is unusual. It has the Tesla technology that I've been studying. It has the Russian technology. It has this what was discovered by the scientists at Chernobyl. This is really interesting. So I'll have another conversation. God said, look, if this is the technology that's going to protect us from all of this, you're going to have to finance it. So the next week, I get a call from a friend of mine up in Mount Pleasant who 2 years ago woke up one morning and was totally blind. And she was blind for 2 weeks. She went to the doctors. The doctors couldn't explain what was going on. Eventually, she had 2 or 3 surgeries, which did not work. And so she calls and she says, I'm in trouble. The doctor says I have 15% vision left. They don't know what happened. They don't know what's causing it. And there's nothing they can do. And I remember in one of the documentaries that I watched was that this 5G technology was first kind of rolled out in World War II. And when it was, it just cooked people's eyeballs. And so I told Eva, I said, I think you need to get on the phone with Dagmar, this lady from Poland that showed me this technology. Well, the next day, there's a cancer specialist out in California that brings me in as a consult when he kind of runs into problems. And he called me and said, look, I've got a guy and I've done everything. I don't know what to do with him. Would you please go and look and see if you can track it down? Well, I got my Theta healing certification last summer, so I can do that. So I went in and I said, well, it's EMFs. And he said, that's impossible. He's sleeping in a metal building. We have all the latest EMF technology around him. He's using a flip phone. He doesn't use a computer. He's done everything he can to protect himself. I said, I'm sorry, Jeff, it's EMFs. I know it is. I said, why don't you get on the phone with Dagmar? I don't know if you can hear my little granddaughter laughing in the background. Then the next day, I get another call from another guy out in California, and he says, Kathy, I'm in trouble, and I don't know what to do. I have had a dental implant put in, and I'm in so much pain, I can hardly stand it. When I'm not in pain, I have no feeling. And now I've become sensitive to EMFs again. And I said, so I went in and looked, and it was leaning up against a nerve. So I had him take it out and take care of that. And I said, but you need to talk to Dagmar about these EMFs. He says, it's not, I'm all protected. And I said, well, obviously you're not. So anyway, they all got on. What we found out was that 2 days before Eva lost her eyesight, a smart meter was put on her home outside of her bedroom. The second guy, the client, has a cell tower 200 feet from his home. And the third guy lives in an apartment. Now, I've gotten another call, too. Last weekend, I got another call, and it went like this. Kathy, I'm in trouble. My thyroid's all swollen again, which we got healed up a few years ago. We found out with her is that she'd been sleeping in the living room beside a smart meter. Okay, so what does this have to do with what Jennifer showed us in that video? There's 2 to 3 reasons why they're doing the spraying that they're doing. One of them is to block us from the sun, and that's a whole different story. But the second reason is, as you know, it has aluminum and barium and all kinds of metals in it, which my clients are showing up all the time with heavy metal poisoning. And this 5G network, the 4G towers cover miles. The 5G towers cover yards. And so they're putting in the 5G towers, and they're going to form like a net. And they connect with all this metal that's being dumped, nanopartically dumped into our system. So we're considered wetware, and we're going to be connected to the Internet of Things. And it's the freakiest stuff I've ever heard. It's like out of a sci-fi movie. So this technology, I think, is going to work. Everybody's ordered their stuff. They're going to be getting it this week. And I'll be watching to see how they respond. And my technology's coming in too. So you're going to see me posting. I'm going to start posting a lot of stuff about it. I'm meeting with a lady today to see how to present everything on social media without freaking everybody out, but yet having them understand how serious the situation is. So, seeing what I saw on that snowball and it not melting, that doesn't surprise me. Plastics, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. So anyway, I'm sharing this. Watch my Facebook. I think I'm only going to put it on my page, on my business page. I don't know that I'm going to put it on my personal feed. I've got to pray about it and decide how I'm going to do it. I also am going to, in April, I just haven't set the date. I've already made arrangements for the place. But I'm going to show Generation Zapped, and I'm going to show the technology. I'm going to invite some chiropractors and some holistic doctors to come, because what I'm hearing is that in the holistic community, the various things that have always worked with people, the foundational things, either they're not working or it's not holding. And I think that once they see what's going on, they're going to understand why their protocols that have always been effective are becoming ineffective. So anyway, I'll keep y'all posted, and y'all, I know, have a good day. How can you after what I've told you? But I think there's a solution. At least I hope so. Anyway, have a good day, ladies. Bye.